What is going on? Welcome to the Second of Strength podcast. Wherever you're at, I hope you're doing well. Thank you for being here today. Look, we're going to talk a little bit about choices today, specifically hard choices. I had a conversation with my daughter the other day. We were driving to school. We always have these very in-depth conversations. She's 11 years old, and she is a lot like me. She thinks motivationally. She thinks about other people. And anyway, we started talking about choices. And I just believe that choices is our one true freedom. And I struggle with things that take us out of control of our choices. One of the things I always tell teenagers when I go and speak, my biggest problem with social media is the power and the grip that it has over our minds is that it takes us out of control of our choices. And so I was talking with my daughter and we were talking about choices and the reality that when you choose something, you are also choosing something else, because either you've chosen something and by default you can't choose the other thing, or you've chosen not to do something and because of that, then you have to choose something else. And so our choices always have some sort of residual challenge or residual issue that we have to deal with. And sometimes it's big, it's good, and sometimes it's bad. Sometimes it's no big deal, but our choices do have our choices do have ramifications. And so what we're talking about is hard choices. And the reality that is if you don't choose a hard choice, choose to take action on a hard choice, then oftentimes you will be forced to live with the hard choice later. And this came into play a while back. I was talking with someone at their job, and they said, yeah, I'm really struggling here. I'm struggling with my work. I'm struggling with my boss. I'm struggling with a lot of things. And I said, well, you have a choice. You have a choice to leave. And that's a hard choice to make, because if you choose to leave, then you're going to have to, go apply and go interview and go, there's a lot of things that deal with if you choose to leave. There's a lot of things that go along with that hard choice. But just know if you don't choose to leave, then you are actually choosing the other hard where you have to deal with your work. You have to deal with your boss. You have to deal with all of those things. And so that's an example of what these hard choices is. With my daughter, I said, well, hey, you can choose to do your homework, even though it's not fun. You'd rather come home and, play or do something else, but you can choose that hard to do your homework. But if you don't choose that hard, then the hard you chose means that later mom and I are going to have a conversation with you about your grades, or you may get a bad grade on your assignment or your test or whatever, but it's because you didn't choose the initial hard. You have to deal with the secondary hard. And so I think that that's one of the biggest complex things that we have to deal with. If we don't choose the hard, we will be forced to live with the hard later. Another example is your health. If you want to get healthier, but that's a hard thing, right? You have to choose to eat better, which is not fun. And you have to choose to work out, which isn't fun. And you have to choose to be consistent, which isn't fun. And there's all these hard things that revolve around being healthier. But if you don't choose that hard, then you will be forced to live with the hard later, which is being unhealthy, maybe having less confidence in yourself, maybe health risks or health problems. Those are the hards that we choose. And so what I want to focus on today is really, how do we get in the habit of choosing the hard so that we're not forced to choose the hard later. And I think when we think about this, I talk a lot about your 1 second of strength. And I truly believe it. And, after I spoke at a recent event, I had a couple of people come up afterwards and say, hey, that 1 second of strength changed me. And what I hope that you focus on is this mindset shift. If you can have a 1 second of strength mindset in the moment of hard, it will enable you to force yourself to make that decision, because our mentality as human beings is we want to do the easy stuff. We want to take the easy way out. And it comes back to survivalism. We want to survive. And sometimes, surviving means doing the easy thing, right? It's just easier in that moment. And so we always default to comfort. We always default to safety. We always default into this place where we're not having to do these hard things. that's the moment where your 1 second of strength mindset has to step in. If we can, in those moments, think 1 second of strength, it's just a mindset shift. It's just a simple thought. Think 1 second of strength. That 1 second of strength will propel you to do the hard in the moment, to take action on the hard so that we don't have to deal with it later, because action is a choice. Inaction is always a choice. Decision is a choice. Indecision is also a choice. If you're choosing not to do something or not to make a choice, you are actually making a choice in that indecision. And so this is a very simple mindset shift that when you start incorporating the 1 second of strength mindset, just that thought simply throughout your day, throughout your life, it will give you the strength in that moment to make the choice that is hard, that is difficult, even though it's not fun, even though it's painful, even though it's boring, even though it's whatever, and you'd rather do something else. And there's lots of other things that are more fun. Like, I would much rather eat Oreos than eat carrots. I would much rather eat Oreos than I'd rather eat Oreos than a lot of things, I'll be honest. I just really, really like Oreos. But even in Oreos, there's a choice. I'll tell you, when I was younger, and I'm talking like, I don't know, 12 years younger, I used to eat like 8 Oreos a night, 8 to 10 Oreos. I just loved them. I was just pounding Oreos all the day long. I just loved them. And so I would eat 8 Oreos at night. Well, today, my second of strength choice is that instead of 8 Oreos, I might have 2. Just to get a little bit of flavor, just to get a little bit of goodness. It's very similar with ice cream. You don't want the whole bowl of ice cream. You really just want the flavor. You want the taste. So take a bite, take 2 bites, then find your 1 second of strength and put it down. Those are the choices that you have the power to make when you incorporate the second of strength mindset into your daily life. This is why it's so powerful, because it has the power to change your seconds that have the power to change your life. That is the difference between where you are and where you want to go. It simply comes down to choices, making the hard choice in the moment so that you don't have to live the hard choice later on. That's the simplicity. That's the beauty of it. And so wherever you are, it's a practice that you have to just start working on. So start with simple things. Start with incorporating the 1 second of strength mindset into your very simple daily things, whatever that may be. It could be, throwing away the soda in your house. It could be just, literally just go and take the bag of chips and throw it in the garbage, get it out of your house. Like, that could be a very simple second of strength. But the beauty of it is when you find your 1 second of strength to take that action, then you will be empowered to take it again and again and again, because now you know what it feels like. Now you know what it feels like to override those emotional feelings, those emotional sentiments that you have, and move forward. There is so much power in that. It is liberating. It is freeing. It will absolutely change your life when you start to do it, because you'll also gain confidence and know that you know how to prove yourself wrong. You know how to overcome those feelings, those emotions, those negativities, those safety mechanisms, the comfort. You know how to overcome it because you've done it before. And all it takes every single time is 1 single second of strength. So I hope this helps you. The second of strength mindset, when I started living it myself, it changed me. It changed me into a better person because I was able to make the hard choices in the hard moments. And when you make hard choices in hard moments, it frees you to live the life you want. And there's nothing better than that. So I hope this helps. If you have a minute to just pause this, go leave a rating on the show. It really helps me. I'd love to get to like 100 ratings here in the next couple of weeks, which just requires you to just go and take 1 second and go do that, 1 second of strength and do it. So if you could leave a rating, I would appreciate it. Share this with someone else if you think it'll help them. Text it, email it. You can always tag me at Real Tanner Clark on social media, or send me a note in my DMs and let me know if this helps you. But I will leave you the way I always leave you. Go find your 1 second of strength and be happy.